Hi there, it's Chris Hamilton here with bookkeepingautomation.com and also enter myinvoice.com. And I am starting a QuickBooks Desktop marketing tips for bookkeepers and accountants that have clients on QuickBooks Desktop. And tip number one is how to gain a competitive advantage with QuickBooks Desktop. So as we get into this, hopefully this will make sense to you and it's really cool. Here's the problem that I see in the marketplace. QuickBooks Online has built this great little marketplace where they've built apps that can connect into QuickBooks Online. The problem is there's a lack of these apps or any kind of automation for QuickBooks Desktop. There's only a handful out there. Now, our platform actually has an integration into QuickBooks Desktop. And what we do is we take paper copies of bank statements, credit card statements, invoices, and receipts. You can scan them, you digitize them. We can take PDFs, we can take images. You put them into our system. We allow for bulk coding. You can memorize a lot of this, the rules applied to it, and then sync it with QuickBooks Desktop and also QuickBooks Online. And what happens is this removes roughly 80% of the whole manual process that you have to go through to get information into QuickBooks Desktop and also QuickBooks Online. So there is an automation play through what we do that can make you way more productive. So here's the opportunity. Leverage a system like ours, Bookkeeping Automation, with QuickBooks Desktop to become more effective. So I'm going to give you some facts. Roughly 80% of the marketplace in North America, being Canada and the US, and if you're watching from outside, it may be different, but Canada and the US is roughly 80% of the marketplace is using QuickBooks Desktop. Now, of the people that are using QuickBooks, 90% are on QuickBooks Desktop. Think about this, 80% of the marketplace with 90% of them on QuickBooks Desktop. The overall marketplace in North America, roughly 72% or up to 72% of businesses that are using an accounting system are on QuickBooks Desktop. That's virtual monopoly in that space. Now, here's what I talk about is by leveraging our tool is you can reduce your time it takes to do a bunch of the tasks associated with the bookkeeping side of things. So, if, for example, a business, it takes 20 hours to do the bookkeeping on a monthly basis. By applying a system like ours, you can remove roughly upwards of 80%. If that's the case, then you're getting rid of 16 hours. Now what you're doing in 4 hours is the equivalent of 20 hours. Huge opportunities here to be way more profitable and way more productive. So let's take a look at this. Let's just say 20 hours at $20 an hour generates $400 in revenue. Now, by applying a system like ours, you get 4 hours at $20 an hour. It's now $80 revenue. Now, you don't necessarily want to be charging out at $80. But the difference here now is that there's a $320 in potential profit that you can play with. And let's say you charge out at a rate of roughly, say, 10 hours as opposed to this, knowing it only takes you 4 hours to do this. Then you charge your client $200, which means that you have $120 in profits. So, if you're competing against someone, this is a great way to get way more profitable and undercut their price. So the approach that you want to take in regards to this is you want to ask potential clients if they're on QuickBooks Desktop. If they say yes, then you know what? Ask them, what are you paying right now for your bookkeeping? What if I could provide you a monthly price on this that's less expensive than what you're currently doing? Most business owners, if they're impartial to their bookkeeper, then they would probably jump at the chance to look at something like that. The other thing you can do is start targeting industries that are specifically on QuickBooks Desktop. Now, with 72% of the marketplace on QuickBooks Desktop, guess what? It's going to be pretty easy to target these markets. So it's going to be very easy to find people that are on QuickBooks Desktop. Last thing you can do, we have a value pricing tool in our software. So if you're leveraging our software, if you have a client, you can connect their QuickBooks Desktop database to our application and take a look at their accounts payable, their accounts receivable, and also their credit card and bank statements. over a set period of time, and you can see how many transactions they've been doing over, say, a 6-month, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year period, and be able to understand kind of what your costs are going to be associated with doing that. So then you can nail a price down. So this goes back to my point of, if someone's charging out hourly and they're doing roughly 20 hours a month, they can charge out at $400. You can come in and understand that you can undercut it because you'll be doing it in about 20% of the time that they would normally do with their bookkeeper on that on the accounts payable side. You can reduce your costs significantly and still make more money just by doing that, and then provide a one set fee per month. So I'll tell you what, why don't you go to bookkeepingautomation.com? You can see what we're up to. You can request a demo, but the best thing is you can do a free 30-day trial of our software. So just go to bookkeepingautomation.com. There's a little button on there. It says free trial. Click on that, sign up, and what'll happen is you will be able to test drive the product and see how it works for you. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There'll be more QuickBooks Desktop marketing tips coming up in the future.